world #1 taking on the world #3 in the 2016 Australian Open and Wimbledon champion Gordon Reid. Call this one if you can, because it really is going to be fascinating. Of course, Houdet in a pretty special chair. It's not cheap, that chair, incidentally. $120,000 it cost.
That's a special piece of equipment, it really is. It's state-of-the-art. It's taken the wheelchair tennis world by storm, because it's so different to the chairs used, the sports chairs used by all the others, and as you can see from Gordon Reid's chair. And some discussion over whether it's taken a little too far.
Yes, I know, but because he uses a saddle, so he is a little more elevated, which means he has that bit more reach. But at the same time, it's good to see the sport progressing, and the technology moving forward in the right direction. And so I think you can look at it two ways, and I think majority of people think it's very good for the sport, and Houdet has, I think, offered a lot for the sport.
Well, the Gordon Reid fan club are out in force once more. They've been fantastic support for not only Reid, but for the entire Great Britain wheelchair tennis setup, and they're having a terrific tournament, because they've really got Reid and Houdet in the doubles final, and in the quad singles, Andy Lapthorne is in the final there as well.
And of course, Alfie Houdet, the surprise package in the men's singles. He's in the other semi-finals, taking on Joachim Gerard. Not much will follow this one. So plenty of British interest for the next few hours or so on centre court. But right now we've got this opening semi-final encounter. Of course, Houdet has won 3 Grand Slams in singles before. 2 of them at the French Open, 1 at the US Open. He's known as one of the best defenders in the world in terms of how he moves around the court, that extra reach that he has. And the court here in Rio, generally pretty slow, but when it's been hotter, we've seen the players being able to hit through one another.
Yeah, and this man is, as Pete, you said, it's a wonderful touch at the net. We've seen in doubles, absolutely superb, but around the net. So he'll be able to employ that skill here. The use of the angles and position around the net is quite phenomenal. So it's hot. Weather, as I said, it's not quite as hot as yesterday. It was a little bit humid yesterday. I think it's a bit drier today, dry heat. But it has been slow, this court, on occasion. It can be attritional stuff between these players. The records this year, I mean, they're not dissimilar. Definitely 49 wins and 9 defeats. Reid 34 and 9. So the ratio not quite as good as Houdet, but it tells you that these are 2 players at the peak of their powers. Yeah.
And what Reid has done well this year, he seems to have been able to peak for the right tournaments. As you know, we talked about the success Houdet has had in a number of tournaments. He's got 5 titles to his name compared to just 3 for Reid, but 2 of those were Grand Slams for the British player. And he's looked good here again in Rio. He's seemingly got his schedule right to be able to get himself up for the bigger events.
That's the key. That's what separates the good from the really great players, and finding that peak period to perfection. And we'll find out today that he's done that. This is as tough a test as he could ask for against Stephane Houdet. The left-hander serve as he's warming up here. It's a beautiful thing.
Are you left-handed, John?
I'm not.
Okay.
But it just gives, there's a dynamic slack to it. And somehow, as I think all right-handers look at the left-hander serve and say, oh, I wish I could hit it like that.
Yes. Well, it's that slice out wide, isn't it, to the backhand side that gets you on the stretch. Yep. I know when I'm playing it, that's the one you fear. Opens up the court, particularly both of these players. It's a very good service. They generally hit with a lot of slice, but there's also a bit of topspin on the ball too. This court is pretty receptive to the topspin. It doesn't tend to kick off the surface. It's quite often at the top level, it's all about the first strike. You can get either the big return in or that big serve in to set the point up.
Well, we've seen quite a few, well, a bit of a change of order in the quads, so where the doubles title went to a young combination for the first time, and the Wagner-Turner dominance of the gold medal at Paralympics has finally ended. They won the first three titles in Athens, Beijing and London, and they lost out to Alcott and his partner last night, Heath Davidson. And this is another classic clash between a seasoned, veteran, experienced, but still one of the very best in the game has seen, in Stephane Houdet, and a young man who's been around. He's in his third Paralympics, but he's at the age of 24, still got plenty more to play. A fascinating matchup.
You talked about the changing of the guard. Of course, you mentioned Wagner and Taylor losing last night, but it's the same situation in the men's singles. Of course, Kaneda, the Japanese megastar, has dominated in the men's singles for the last 8 years. So we will have a new winner for the first time in 12 years. Who will it be, though? Will it be Houdet, Reid, Hewitt, or Gerard? We're about to find out who will make it through to the gold medal match. First of all, in this opening semi-final between Gordon Reid and Stephane Houdet, and it will be the British player to get us underway first.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you.
It's a nice start by the Frenchman.
And immediately we saw the very first point, Reid trying to come up to the net.
You do feel that is going to be the battle. You would expect the British player to come forward, and then it's all about the counter-punching skills of Houdet. Particularly with that chair, he's got that little more reach. So when Reid does come forward, he's got to make sure it's the right time. Out here very excited on centre court, making plenty of noise already. Beautifully done.
And therein is the lovely dynamic that this man has, the touch around the net. It's not just about trying to put away volleys. He really has wonderful touch there. Beautifully done.
It's a serve that opened.
You either can go back behind the player who's returned, or it opens up the court as he found there.
It's a great body serve from Reid, and it is the world number 3 who gets on the board first, much to the delight of those British fans. Both players no doubt feeling a few nerves in the system. It's such a big game.
Yeah, it is, and one thing that struck me about watching the wheelchair tennis is how relaxed they appear to be. I suppose that as much as trying to appear to be relaxed, and are they really relaxed? And just getting over those first few games, just settling down. This is a semi-final. They know how big this stage is. But Reid has done a great job there, holding serve very comfortably.
I'm sure, of course, his experiences at the slams this year will help him to deal with the pressure. He's won a lot of big matches. There's another one. They just serve. Love one. What do you make of the golf gloves?
Interesting, yeah. You know, some we have seen some players use them. He obviously is very used to it, but it obviously helps with the pushing. And I don't know how they do it. The feel of the racket,
yes.
the feel is sort of kick. That.
We talked about the lefty serve from the advantage court side where you cut it out wide, but if you're a right-handed player playing against a left-handed player, you try and do the same, just as Houdet did there, cutting it out wide to the backhand of Reid.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that time it was Houdet trying to kick it out wide. But Reid in the right place at the right time, did well on getting on top of that one.
Took it nice and early, and so much about this sport is about depth. Inside base.
It's a solid point from Houdet. Incidentally, it was the Frenchman who won their last meeting. And won it comfortably too, 6-1, 6-2. That was at the BNP Paribas Open de France. And a slight advantage of playing in front of his home crowd. And it was Reid who defeated him just before that, the French Open. That's fabulous point construction from Reid.
Worked him around the back of the court so well, opened it up, and stole in there on that shot. Just timed the approach. Perhaps he might have wanted to get a little bit earlier, but the touch at the net, he backs himself with that. It's beautiful. Window open a little bit here for Reid.
Oh, it's just wide. In fact, it's been corrected by the chair umpire.
Houdet goes right up there to have a look and point it out. He was having to do so much work here. And then across the other side of the court to keep it alive. And he was stone dead there.
Well, Reid's been given the point here. And Houdet's not happy because you see the call came pretty early. So he wants the point to be replayed. I'd imagine that is what the conversation was about. I mean, he was a long way away from it, but you could see he stopped early because the call was so early. So a little bit hard done by there, Houdet. And it was Reid who was bossing the point. So a great point for the Brit. Oh, what a return from Gordon Reid. And it is the third seed who breaks first in this opening set.
This is as good as it gets, because that wasn't a shabby serve either. but he was all over the backhand return, read it beautifully, and nailed it. Fine start by Gordon Reid.
Moves up 2-love in his first semi-final.
Good angle. He let it bounce twice, which quite often they don't do, but he really lined this one up and looked for the angle. The ball, the second bounce took it wider, so it opened up the angle for him. And Reid couldn't reach it.
First double fault for the Brit. Previous point, it was a fierce return from Houdet, so maybe just fearing that return a little there. On the ball, and Houdet looking to strike straight back.
Reid, I think, just a little unsettled by the noise in the stands. There's a lot of young children in the centre court who are not familiar with the etiquette that surrounds watching tennis. Pressure here on Gordon Reid. 3 break points to the Frenchman.
Well, second double fault of the game rather gifts the break straight back to Stephane Houdet. And it is the Frenchman who's on the board, a little later than he probably would have liked, because it's Reid who leads by 2 games to 1. Houdet, who went an early break down, but responding straight away, making to love. He had to do a better job of holding serve than he did in his first service game. 1-2 in this opening set. Delicately done, just bunting it up the line.
Yeah, he's not afraid to come in to attack the serve. And just, yeah, it was all again about depth.
It's a lot about momentum, just like it is with able-bodied tennis. You want to be moving into the ball, taking it early if you can. At the moment, Reid seems to have his timing on the return. too short from Houdet. Easy pickings for Reid.
They're going for that kick second serve, but it wasn't a problem for Reid, who could set up the remainder of the point. And no problem with the forehand.
It's a different type of serve this time from Houdet. Firing one down the tee.
He's mixed it up. And a defensive prod up the court was punished.
Tell that these two are two of the best in the business, though. It's almost a rarity that a point is lost on an error at the moment. We've seen so many winners in these opening exchanges between these two.
He scratches his head there, Gordon Reid. There's a bit of work on the ball from Houdet for sure. But 2 errors on the return has given Houdet a point for 2 all.
Just got himself in the wrong position there, Reid, not doing enough with the volley. And Houdet consolidates the break. Gets back to level pegging, 2 games apiece.
It's interesting how Reid decided to go around the backhand and open up the whole court, perhaps with the intention of coming in, which he did, but he didn't make most of that forehand, and so got himself into that tricky situation in the middle of the court.
Well, interesting, he went down the middle and then came in, which of course took the angles away from Houdet, but didn't really do enough with that volley. We thought this one might be tight. First 4 games or anything to go by. Looks that way.
It's interesting, this year they haven't played a 3-setter. It's all been straight sets between the two, either way, 2 and 2. So this is a different stage, though. The Paralympics.
The majority of their recent meetings have been straight sets. 2 in the last 12 have gone the distance.
Get the feeling Reid's gone off the boil a bit after that break, which he got the break with such a cracking return of serve, and you felt the momentum was with him, and he's thrown in another double fault. He had 2 in his previous service game. A few more unforced errors are creeping into his game at the moment.
That had a bit of everything, and it's Houdet who comes out on top of it. Momentum firmly with the Frenchman now. 2 break points for the world number 1. Another double fault, and just like his previous service game, 2 double faults really hurting Reid, as Houdet wins a third straight game and moves in front for the first time in the opening set. It is the Frenchman who now leads by 3 games to 2. Work for Gordon Reid to do then, making an excellent start. Somewhat has gone off the boil of late. And it is the Frenchman who leads 3-2 now. Making it look simple. Stephane Houdet working the ball from side to side.
Yeah, he does that, doesn't he? He appears to make it look so easy, and Gordon Reid absolutely charging around the base of the baseline.
Well, Reid made a slow start in his quarterfinal against Fernandez. Lost the first set there 6-2. He played some exceptional tennis in the first 2 games. He's not really hurting Houdet at the moment. He's the 45-year-old. He's playing within himself.
He immediately looked across at the umpire, Houdet, after that call.
British coaching team watching closely. Well, that's more like it.
Brilliant. He's not able to attack the Houdet serve, and so, which is one of his strengths, is nailing the serve, but he set this point up beautifully and had to produce a special shot to win it as well.
That's going to frustrate him. He played such a good point in the previous one. Bit of a gift for Houdet. Ball toss a little too far behind his head on that occasion. First double fault for the Frenchman.
Arches back, does he, when he goes for that kick serve. Most often gets it right, but that time it's a little too far. Deuce.
It was called wide. To say it looked good, and I think Houdet thought the same.
Reid might have even thought the same, yeah. He did so well to get there. Reid worked it out. And Houdet knew he was in a spot of bother as soon as Reid got to the drop and had to turn and go. And well, the ball stood up, almost the second bounce, almost bounced back. So much on it.
Just wonder whether Houdet maybe would have been better going cross-court on the angle of that shorter backhand. Break point. You can see what he was trying to do. Houdet certainly didn't read it, just a little short on the execution.
Trying to mix it up a bit here. He needs to change it up against a man who is so solid defensively.
What a forehand from Reid. Able to generate such power.
Yeah, I think Houdet is saying, what were you doing? Why did he go there? Cross court. As soon as you start playing the angles here, you can leave yourself exposed if your opponent has a decent shot at it, and didn't Reid have a decent shot at it? Superb.
Second break point of the game. The world number 3. That's just wide. And this opening set continues to meander one way, then the other. This time it's Reid who breaks back, and it's 3 games all.
And there he had a look at that serve. He got in nice and early and made a very, very effective return. Houdet in trouble.
Such a fascinating matchup though, isn't it? You've got Reid trying to create openings, and Houdet, as you say, so solid, consistent from the back.
It's beautifully poised. A 3-all in the first set.
That's a fine return.
Such a well-honed stroke. Nobody plays, you know, he's hit millions of those shots. He knows exactly what to do and where it's going to go.
Oh, it's a special rally, and it's finished with a sumptuous backhand from Gordon Reid.
Brilliant, brilliant from both players, but Reid with that extraordinary backhand.
It really is incredible the way that they strike the ball. Some of the most awkward positions. Houdet did so well in that rally just to neutralise it early on. Reid coming up with the goods. That's more fine tennis, and suddenly the pendulum has swung towards the British player.
Positive. He's almost made a conscious decision to be more aggressive and try and take control of the points a little earlier. Paid off there.
That's tidy tennis from Houdet.
Well, the touch of Reid, he was looking for a little drop, but it just wasn't good enough. And as soon as that doesn't work, he's in trouble. Houdet.
Really feel that this semi-final has come to life.
They just pushing the backhand back into court, and that is an incredible shot from Reid. Wrist work, timing, beautifully played.
Magical. Reid moves in front once more. It's an absorbing encounter now.
He's settled down nicely, you feel now. He knows what he needs to do. And a very well constructed final point there. Working Houdet, the patience to be able to just play the extra shot. And came in to finish it off, and still with the boldness to come and take it on the volley and tuck it away. Good to see, and this acknowledgement from his opponent as well.
Good sportsmanship to see from Houdet. So it's Reid who is in front in this opening set now by 4 games to 3. It is swinging one way then the other. How much of a role do you think his fans have had to play?
I think it is a huge boost. You're not alone out there. You often see players looking up at their coaching corner, and all the energy from the coaching corner, between the coaching corner and the player, it's one way. It's only one channel. Whereas he's got his supporters there. They're creating a vibe. He knows they're with him. It must be a huge bonus for him. Stephane Houdet has got supporters out there, but they're certainly not as vocal and visual as Gordon Reid. I think it must be fantastic to have that sort of support.
Of course, will be watched. Both of these players will be watched by millions back home in their homelands. But yeah, after the Olympics, you read a lot of interviews with the athletes, and when they returned home to thousands of people, all waiting to see them. So it's quite a strange situation, because you can sometimes feel alone out there and you don't realise how much support is back home. But of course, Reid, with his army of fans, is well aware that he's got that as a backing. Easing into that one. He's beginning to purr, is Gordon Reid. Do you rather feel that this match is on Reid's racket?
Yeah, absolutely. He's had the fluctuations. Houdet has done an early break, but he hasn't done anything really wrong, but he hasn't done anything quite spectacular. It's just been solid from him. Reid can take it, win it or lose it in his own racket, as you say.
Just missed it. It was a super return from Reid, because it was a vicious serve from Houdet. There's the depth that you were talking about, Gerald, being so key in wheelchair tennis. Drew the short ball. Confidence personified with the next forehand.
Yeah, beautifully played, and he's now reading Houdet's serve a little better.
And that's long as well. So Reid breaks again. And this time it's the third straight game for the Brit. And he's now a game away from taking this opening set.
Quite a turnaround. Gordon Reid now a one-service game away from the initiative here. And Houdet, he got the early break at 2-love, then lost 3 on the bounce. And now has won 3 in a row himself. Pressure on the top seed.
Well, he's just in the zone right now.
The purple patch, I mean, it's almost as if he could do nothing wrong at the moment. Gordon Reid. Oh, I'll just do a little drop shot here. How's that? Okay.
His touch really is exceptional.
Beautiful.
Incredible to watch.
Lovely feel. It's that left-handers thing.
He had issues, didn't he, with the double fault earlier on in this match. That's his 5th.
Bound to happen as we were talking him up the way he has been played, but 5 double faults, but he's hit 17 winners. 13 unforced errors. They'll go with the territory when you're going for winners as he does. But, speaks volumes of the way he's taking control of this match.
And just the 8 winners for Houdet. There's nothing quite like a momentum stopper than a double fault. Just a change of Dumby or possible change of rackets for Houdet.
Chance for Reid to ponder his previous mistake. Haven't seen a lot of those unforced errors from Houdet, who's been rock solid at just his 5th, so perhaps feeling a little bit of the pressure now.
Now, this semi-final has ebbed and flowed, as we've mentioned, and you just wonder whether it's Houdet's turn to think, right, maybe I need to do something different because Reid has been dominant for the last 3 games. Maybe looking to be a fraction more aggressive. So what will we have, a break point or a set point? Will be a break point. So a chance to stay alive for the top seed. Oh, it's a great counter-punching from Houdet. Points to the sky. He's back in the set, and he is still alive.
That's a remarkable point from Houdet, really, because he, you could sense that Reid was looking for a chance to come in, maybe, and try and take it early. But Houdet wasn't going to let him have it. He kept finding decent lengths on the ball, keeping Reid back, and when he did come in here, it was a late decision, and Houdet Punished him beautifully. What a great shot. Another twist in this fascinating first set of this men's singles semi-final. Houdet was back in it. Reid failed to serve out the set. Can Houdet take the momentum of that service break into his own service game here? He lost 3 games in a row. He's ended that trend.
And serving to stay in this opening set now. Not the best of starts, spraying that forehand wide. Quite read the spin there, I think, Reid. Kicking it into the body. Houdet.
Again, Reid trying to take it really early. Does a high-risk tactic.
Well, you could see what Reid was trying to do. Houdet didn't pick it initially. Just didn't quite get the execution right. And Houdet is able to pounce.
Isn't he just? Yeah, not quite there, but look at how quickly he covers the court. And not only that, makes a winner. That's what his coach and team feel.
That one's long too. So many twists and turns in this first semi-final. 2 points to make it 5-all. It's a great return. Talked about the high-risk strategy, got the timing right there. Got Houdet on the stretch.
That's got to help. Hearing your name ringing out around centre court.
That's a fantastic point from Houdet. Terrific 1-2 punch. And he remains in this opening set. Recovers from 3-5 down, back to 5-all. Call this one if you can.
Yeah, it seems both players produce their best when their backs to the wall, and it's now down to 5-all into the deep end of this first set. What is Reid's reaction?
Do just feel, again, he's not quite got the same rhythm as he had 3 games ago, and it all came about that double fault. He had all the momentum, and served that double fault at 15 love up at 5-3. And since then, again, not quite looked the same player. But was certainly confident on that forehand.
Nothing wrong with this one. Beautifully played.
18 winners to 10. There's the Brit who's playing the more expansive tennis. Oh dear. Well, a little bit of fortune for Houdet. It was a big miss hit. And that's a big unforced error, I'm afraid, for Gordon Reid.
Yeah, that is not what he was hoping for.
It's interesting to see the reaction from Houdet after that as well. Usually, when a player hits a big miss hit, they apologise, but Houdet, screaming to himself, knows that that could be a big moment in this opening set.
Extra bounce, just a little too tricky for Houdet that time. And it's 30 all, 5 all. Reid fighting to keep together, yeah.
A rare cheap point, a rare unforced error from Houdet. Just his 7th in this opening set. Big shout of come on from Reid. So forcing the error. Nail-biting stuff. And everyone watching this one.
Yeah, you look in that box, there's tension, isn't there? Well, isn't there in the box? Well, Houdet is not happy with that call.
I think the chair, though, has overruled it. Or has he? Reid thinks it's a winner.
Yeah, he's going back.
So it will be a second serve. So it did look just wide. Real pressure now on the second serve. There's been a gap between the first and the second. And now there's a correction, I think, from the chair to say the ball was good. It was called wide initially. So Reid, by hook or by crook, finds a way to close out the service game, and now leads by 6 games to 5 in this opening set.
Well, any doubt about Gordon Reid's mental capacity to deal with pressure? Look at this. Absolutely nailed this backhand. A sliver on the line. That's all that's needed. It is right under the nose of the chair umpire. So Reid sneaks ahead in the 11th game, 6-5. He has lost an opportunity to serve for the set. He's broken back now. It's down to this man to hold his serve to stay in the set. A couple of line calls in that game. And as he was riding to the changeover, Houdet was protesting with the umpire. But what a bold approach, that backhand from Gordon Reid.
It certainly looked close. The replay, it may well have just caught the line. And there they are, trying to inspire their man over the line in this first set. It's been a fascinating first set. So many twists and turns. And we're going to have a couple more. Reid will hope not, because hoping to try and break Houdet here, who's serving to stay in the first set for the second time. Shot from Houdet going back in behind Reid. That's wondrous tennis from Gordon Reid. He's had mixed success with the drop shot, but this one he absolutely nailed. There's a fair way back too, but look how close it bounced to the net. That's a fabulous return as well.
Aggression paying off for Reid here. Closing the angle and finding the backhand and space up the line.
And he sprayed that wide. And Houdet maybe just feeling the pressure of the last 2 points. And another rare unforced error. And it is 2 set points for the world number 3, Gordon Reid. Oh, what a backhand to close out a quite dramatic set. It is Gordon Reid who takes the opener. It was an absorbing first 50 minutes of this opening semi-final. But it's Reid who comes out on top, takes the first set by 7 games to 5.
Phenomenal backhand. This all stems from the previous game, and he finished it off with a really confident backhand, deep and wide, and he found the angle. Still had work to do, but lined it up, and that's what it means to Gordon Reid. Quite brilliant. And the British wheelchair tennis support team as pleased for Gordon Reid, who's taken the first set over the top seed Stephane Houdet by 7 games to 5.
É isso aí, gente. Então ele disse que teve uma outra promoção lá na rádio. Quando eles falarem beijos, ele vai falar beijos durante a programação. E quando vocês escutarem isso, manda lá no Twitter, marca a Love Rádio, no Twitter, Love Rádio 2016, hashtag Love Rádio 2016.
Well, a look at the statistics around an incredibly tight first set, with Reid 22 winners to the 10. And Stephane Houdet 8 unforced errors to the 14 of Gordon Reid. He is going for more shots, so he's going to make more mistakes, but the winners 12 more than Houdet separate the two players. Gordon Reid 5 double faults, but still able to close out the set by 7 games to 5. A seesaw battle it was, but Great Britain's Gordon Reid was the first set.
Houdet, after losing that first set, just taking a bit of a bathroom break, refreshing himself, no doubt, probably changing his shirt. It is a bit cooler today than it was yesterday. Heat rule not in effect. Of course, players still allowed to take a bathroom break at the end of sets. I'll just halt the momentum as well for Reid somewhat. Won the last 2 games, of course, of that opening set, winning it 7-5. Fascinating set. What will we get in the second? 3 to get us underway. Anything in this set, Gerald, that you feel Houdet needs to do differently?
You know, he's as we've seen there, he's been working Reid on the backhand there as much as he possibly can. But perhaps just to be a little bit more aggressive when the opportunity presents itself. But his game is built on a solid defense. You mentioned momentum earlier, and this whole match has been about 5-6 different changes of momentum all the way through. And for one who's going to keep the focus and keep the momentum the longest, is going to close it out.
And that's an awesome angle from Houdet.
These players are able to get such amazing angles with that reverse grip backhand. Difficult to describe when you're talking about it, but it's the same grip as the forehand, just switched over to the backhand side. Incredible wrist work.
Just didn't quite get his positioning quite right there, Reid. Yeah, that backhand is the one shot that's different, really, from able-bodied tennis. You don't see that shot in able-bodied tennis. He uses different muscles, different skill, but it's phenomenal to see up close. If you go and watch wheelchair tennis and you sit at the side of the court, the speed that these guys strike the ball, particularly off that shot, is something else. The talent that these guys have. Both players continually going back in behind one another. And what that also does it in wheelchair tennis, it's very key to keep yourself moving, to move into the shot. And if you haven't got any momentum into the ball, it is tough to generate power onto it. Able to control that one, Houdet, and it's a game point for Reid. An exceptional serve closes out the game. Talked about momentum, no doubt who has it right now. A third straight game for the third seed. It's Reid who leads by a game to love and by a set to love.
Well, the match has been about winning 3 in a row for all the players. So the pressure a little bit on Reid now to see if he can continue that and keep building on a good start, a good period in his game at the moment. He needed that to come out in the set after the really long break. Houdet left the court, managed to keep himself focused. He rolled around the court, kept warm, kept loose, and he's kept his nose in front as well.
It's tough to tell what's going to happen, though, isn't it, in terms of in each game, because they've been breaking each other quite a bit. They've been holding serve as well. It's not really been a pattern, other than the fact you say they tend to win 3 games in a row and then lose the next 3 in a row. It's a super 1-2 punch from Houdet.
It's the sort of backbone of his service game.
He's just been asked to serve that again because the ball boy hadn't quite got back into position. He's been wanting to get on with things. And that gap in between the serve, so often you see it in tennis. There's a pause between first and second serve. It can just disrupt the player's rhythm. Of course, routine is key between the first serve and the second. It's a lovely angle this time from Reid.
Plenty work on it. Yeah, the angle, and it dips inside the service court there. Brilliant, brilliant angle. Whipping it over on the left-hander's side to the backhand of the right-hander. Sort of chance here for Gordon Reid at 30 all.
Again, the clever serve from Houdet. We talked about the left-hander serve. There's the right-hander serve, slicing it away, but he almost purposely dropped that shorter in the box. So it went away even further from Reid. That's another sumptuous forehand.
Again, depth crucial here. He could have hit it a little bit shorter, meter too shorter, and Houdet may have got there, but he had to make sure of the depth.
Just feel it's Reid who's in the driving seat right now. Chance for a 4th straight game, much to the delight of his army of fans. Break point for the Brit.
Yeah, be a bit disappointed with that. But again, it's Houdet who's so strong defensively. He hits the next ball back. He keeps himself in the points and forces Reid to play the extra ball. Use.
First serve percentage just dipping for Houdet there, and again it's Reid who's
Good backhand, another break point for Reid.
He missed a similar ball late on in the first set, but this time makes no mistake with the backhand, and it's Reid who breaks first in the second set.
Great start. He's now won 4 in a row, and it's his foot through the door here. I mean, he almost thought, well, that might not make it, and had to commit. And even though Houdet anticipated the angle of the shot, I mean, that was a great pickup as well. There's no way he could get to this one.
So 2-love in the second set, and taking the first.
He's hitting some boomers on that backhand, isn't he, Pete? That Reid backhand. And that, when he's playing well, when he's confident, you can see it through that shot.
He really rips over the ball, generates so much spin on it. Kicks off this surface, which is pretty receptive, particularly to topspin.
Yeah, I mean, there was lots of talk about why, in Brazil, why not have a clay court? This is not far away,
yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, pretty slow.
Yeah, pretty slow.
Fair amount of bounce.
Yeah.
Cause for concern right now, though, for the French team. One of their man is struggling. He's not playing badly at all. It's just Reid has been exceptional for the last 15, 20 minutes or so. Oh!
Almost ran along the top of the net, along the tape, and perhaps had a look back at Houdet's side and decided, no, I'll go over to Reid's side.
Need to be careful, he didn't touch the net there with the wheels. But yeah, thumbs up from Reid, good sportsmanship.
Reid's got to be careful here. He's playing confident tennis. Don't get carried away.
Something like that certainly helps.
Absolutely.
And you feel at the previous point, he certainly was in the ascendancy in it. I agree with you, Gerald. I think we've seen it time and time again. He's just played a sloppy point here or there, and then it's changed the complete momentum for him.
But you don't want him to stop playing that way, but it's that fine line, isn't it? He's got 2 points for 3-love lead.
Another fine first serve. Means that he's able to consolidate the break. Things are looking good right now for the Brit, Gordon Reid. The third seed in control, a set up, and now 3-love up in the second set.
Reid has the break. He has a 3-love lead. Pressure on the top seed here.
It's a spectacular lob. Again, Reid appreciative of it. Has to be that good right now to win a point against Reid.
was a phenomenal lob. A foot inside the baseline, and it just kept going.
Oh, it's a shame. The movement from both players in the rally was just exceptional. In particular, the amount of times he was spinning the chair around and then still being in the right position to strike the ball.
It's incredible control and vision to spin and come back in an instant and play a winning shot.
Third double fault for Houdet. You can tell he's just feeling the pressure a little, puff of the cheeks. He won a silver medal in the men's singles 4 years ago. Gold medal in the doubles in Beijing in 2008. Doesn't want to be left fighting for a bronze. He wants gold here in Rio. Got there in the end, Houdet.
Just feeding into that forehand of Gordon Reid, awkward into the body. Again, that's all about manoeuvring the chair, and he does it quite brilliantly.
Stunning.
Haven't seen a lot of that from him in this match, but that is a hallmark of Gordon Reid's play.
So brilliant the way he's able to get the racket head control. It's a wondrous touch. Makes it look so easy. Another break point then for Reid here, and he'll have a second serve to hit off. There was an opportunity, had the angle to work with.
It's phenomenal. Houdet just keeps the ball coming back, forcing Reid to play another shot, play another shot.
On that occasion, though, got himself back in the point there, Houdet, because it was a vicious return from Reid. That's another break point for the third seed.
Another gifted that one, and unusual from Houdet.
Oh, what a serve.
Very great champions do that.
Break point down, able to come up big. First ace for the 45-year-old. I've seen him dip a few times in this match. to gift that one. Houdet now with the chance to get himself on the scoreboard in this second set. And does just that. Strange from Reid. A couple of awkward and not the best looking backhands.
Yeah.
And nevertheless, Houdet will take it. Stops the rot. First game in 6 for the Frenchman. And he's on the board a little later than he would have liked in this second set. It's Reid who leads by 3 games to 1, but still hope for the top seed. Big hold that.
Absolutely. He gifted Reid a break point. He wasn't able to take advantage, and as true champions do, didn't let him have another look in. So now Reid 3-1, still with a break. Has to banish that game from his mind, particularly the last couple of points.
Oh, that's just special.
It's an incredible backhand because it's a short ball, but the disguise on it is what it is about.
Just drops long.
There was a moment when he thought, I've got this wrong, but he judged it well.
He's serving a lot better in this second set, Reid. Remember, he had those 5 double faults in the first set, yet to serve one in this set. I'm going to put the curse on it. It's too good. It was an interesting backhand, really ripped around the side of the ball. And that opened up the court for him.
Yeah, he got himself into an awkward position, you feel, but that's what a lot of this game is about, and they manufacture shots out of those situations in a controlled fashion, and it kept the point alive, and he was able to make good on the point, and has 3 points for a 4-1 lead in the second set.
It's called good. And it's a second ace of the match for Gordon Reid. Ensures that he stays or goes back to his 3-game cushion in this second set. Looking good right now as Gordon Reid leads by set to love and by 4 games to 1.
This beautiful slider out wide. Absolutely spot on. And Houdet beaten. He looked straight up at the umpire, looking perhaps for an overrule, then down at the line. He rolled past the line on his way to the chair, and was perhaps satisfied. Great serving, and it's Reid who has the ascendancy in the match and in the second set.
Houdet, who was just about able to hold serve last time out, is struggling here. 1-4 down, And if Reid continues to strike balls like that, it's only going to get worse for the Frenchman.
Oh, didn't he nail that?
He's enjoying himself now, Reid.
Yeah, he's relaxed into his situation here. He's a set and a break-up. He's in control and thriving on it. Concern in the French camp.
And Houdet probably feeling he needs to change something. Being a bit more aggressive, but overcooking the forehand, and it's 3 break points for the 24-year-old.
Sigh of relief there from Houdet.
He lost the last 7 points for that one. Still 2 break points though for Gordon Reid. And super tennis.
Pulling Reid wide out to the forehand side and opening up the court to help himself for the 3rd break point then.
Oh, well, I thought for all the world that was going to be Reid's point, but great court coverage from Houdet. And like all great champions, he is fighting hard in this 2nd set.
You just feel that's the one area that separates these two players. One, Houdet does just make sure he plays low risk. It was a high risk shot from Reid, and it's deuce.
What aggression from Reid. Taking the ball so early, taking all the time away from Houdet. Fourth break point. Can he convert this one? Fantastic. Reid breaks again and is a game away from the gold medal match.
Brilliant play. Working the point, working his opponent, getting him into a position that he could capitalize on, and that beautiful touch at the net. Once again, Reid's strength. And the man from Great Britain, the 3rd seed, on the verge here of claiming a place in a Paralympic final for the first time. What's Houdet got to give?
Oh, well, he nearly nicked it.
How often you see that? He went to the backhand in the corner where Reid was, when perhaps it looked a better option to go to the point. It didn't matter in the end. I get the point. But he'll be aggressive, you feel, in this game. He's got to do something. Keep his hopes alive.
That's a super return.
And that's the counter to the brilliant left-handed serve when it works for the server. If it's not quite in the right area, the angle that he's given the returner comes back to bite him as it did there. Now, the Frenchman has a little opening on the Reid serve.
Just a reminder that the momentum swung one way then the other in the first set. This one isn't done and dusted just yet. I just feel if Houdet can break here, obviously that keeps him alive in the match, but Reid has tended to go off the boil for a couple of games and just to keep his focus to try and get it done as early as possible. That's great depth off the backhand wing from Houdet.
When he's played all these points from deep inside the baseline in this game, Houdet. Pressure. It's a strange old thing.
Reid has never been through to a Paralympic final. Never been into a semi-final. 2 great points though here for Houdet. That's fabulous. Houdet showing everyone why he is the world #1. Keeps himself alive in the opening set. In the opening set, I should say, in the second set. He's clinging on, but he is still there. It's 5-2.
Again, aggressive in as much as Houdet is aggressive in that taking the ball early, cutting out the angle and using the angles brilliantly. He is a master tactician, but he's got a long way to go still, but he's on the road. Having broken Gordon Reid there. Let's smile. Let's support in the stands there.
You just wonder, I mean, being a set and 5-1 down, almost has nothing to lose, and so has seemingly relaxed a little. Played a far more aggressive brand of tennis in that last game, and I wonder if we will continue to see that from him in the next game. A little smile there as well, showing that, you know, that he's just maybe going to enjoy this semi-final from here on in. All the pressure now on the man in your picture, whether or not he can get through to his first ever Paralympic final.
We talking about it at this stage, the Paralympic final, gold medal match. What's his mind doing? The people in his corner, his supporters, are saying, oh, he's got one more game. It's only if you're sitting there and playing the point, you know how the pressure is affecting him.
He's played such an aggressive brand of tennis too.
Got to keep doing that. It's worked for him so far.
So Houdet serving to stay in the match here, 2-5. It's a good start from Reid. Another really positive point. Hasn't shown all that much emotion throughout this match, be it negative or positive. It's a big release when he went to 5-1.
rich variety in his serve, Houdet. That was the big boomer down the middle. Just a bit too long.
Just stroking her up the line. So cool, calm and collected off that ball. It looked like he was playing it in the park, let alone he's 3 points away, or now 2 points away from reaching his first ever Paralympic final.
And it was just the delay. He made Houdet think a couple of times, where's this one going to go, and then placed it beautifully.
And he's now 1 point away. Houdet feeling that he needs to step it up a little. The fans are on their feet, the coaches are on their feet. Gordon Reid with 3 match points. Can't get it done on this occasion.
There's a huge invitation into open to hit that backhand into the open court.
What a performance from Gordon Reid. The world number 3 into his first ever Paralympic Games.
Young player, and Houdet denied the chance to bid for a first ever singles gold. It is Reid who advances to the gold medal match with a performance of class and of quality, an aggressive performance. He had his moments in both sets as the pendulum swung one way and the other, but ultimately that aggressive approach, that go-forward approach, really did pay off for Gordon Reid. Lovely to see at the end of the match the camaraderie between the two. They've obviously played each other so often that they know each other very well. But the Frenchman magnanimous in his congratulations as Reid closes it out.
So confirmation of the semi-final result. Gordon Reid, the 3rd seed, knocks out the top